Hi friends, it's Ashley from Ashley's Paper Heart, and I've been slacking on videos again. So yeah, I thought we could do a real-time journal with me, hopefully. Um, my husband took the kids out so I could have some peace and quiet. I do have to like keep this brief-ish because I have homework. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Um, so yeah, I thought we could journal in my Hobonichi, talk about what's been going on, and talk about like some of the future videos that I have coming up. So first, of course, this is my A5 Hobonichi cousin. I do have some changes about how I set up the inside. So I just got this goat leather like little folder, like traveler's notebook folder, and I know this is a standard size traveler's notebook size, but the height is the right height for an A5. So I've been using these in here, and I've been keeping ephemera and stickers and stuff inside my setup for my main journal. That's kind of what I've been doing with that. So that's kind of a newer addition. I don't know if I had this last time I had a video. I am going to have some videos that are out of order. I think I'm going to post this one first before I post some of the other ones that I need to do voiceovers for, just because I've been extremely lazy in getting voiceovers done, and honestly it's been hard to find the time where the house is quiet enough between my kids and our upstairs neighbors. Like, it seems like there's always noise when I want to record, so it's like I've not found the right time to do that. So the videos that will be coming up on my channel over the next like month or so will probably be out of chronological order. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't want to like not use the footage because I've already filmed it. So anyway, I also switched out my pen. I had a Bennu Talisman pen that I'd been using for a while. And I just thought it wanted to use a pen with a little bit of a finer nib. So I've been using my Sailor, what is this? Oh my goodness. I'm an awful fountain pen owner. Sailor, The Sound of Rain, and I think this is Spring Rain. This is probably one of my favorite, like, pens aesthetically. Also, it writes beautifully. I don't know if it's my favorite one as far as writing goes, but I just think it's beautiful. It's got this, like, minty green, and then the ends are this really pretty purple. And those are, like, my favorite colors. And then it has a gold nib, which is really, really pretty. So I've really been enjoying using this, and it fits nicely in here. I say that and I'm like struggling. There we go. So, I did not journal yesterday. I need to do that. I'm not going to do the writing part on camera outside of just my weekly, but I will do the decorating of the next pages. I just like, do you guys enjoy watching people write? I guess like I kind of do, but then like when I do it, I tend to speed up the footage because I doubt anyone wants to watch me like write in real time because I am so slow. So, let's talk about what happened this week. These last couple weeks, and honestly this is why like I haven't had as many videos out as I normally do. I'm just gonna bring all these over here. I need to replace these. This is my Sailor Shikiori brush pens. I've had these for probably close to 2 years now, and some of the brush tips are starting to get wonky, probably because I probably pushed too hard or something, I don't know. So yeah, like this one's got like a dent in it or something, and I'm just I've been lazy and not wanting to I don't know, like I don't want to replace them because they still have ink in them, but they kind of need to be replaced because they're not writing the way I'd like them to. I don't know. Does anyone else do that? Like, I haven't run out of the ink, so I should not be like buying new ones, but whatever. So let's see. Yesterday was, what did I do yesterday? I worked. So let's see, another long work day. And I'm not trying to be super nice with this lettering. If you don't know, if you haven't watched a lot of my Hobonichi videos, this is the week section of the Hobonichi, and this is what I call my hot mess pages. I write usually like highlights of the day, and I use my brush pens. It's kind of like a good time for me to practice my hand lettering. I'm not like good at hand lettering by like any sort of the imagination. I'm just not. But I do enjoy it, and you know, it is what it is. Like, our journals don't have to be like all beautiful and Instagram worthy and all that. Like, who cares? It's your journal. You do what makes you happy. This makes me happy. And yeah, I really enjoy like at the end, like looking through these. Oh, speaking of which, I need to film a flip through of January. Okay, I probably will do that after this video. So yeah, I'm going to try to remember that. I completely forgot. I am the worst YouTuber ever. Do you like my Band-Aid? Yes, I am using a Princess Jasmine Band-Aid because I have children and that is the only kind of Band-Aid that's in the house right now. Besides Paw Patrol, and those are my sons, and he only has 2 left, and I'm not going to use those because if something should happen that he needs a Band-Aid and he does not have the boy Band-Aids, then all hell will break loose. And oh, he's 3, so yeah, that explains a lot. What else did I do yesterday? I'm trying to think of another highlight to write for the day. It was a really long week. Like, I can't even remember half the things I did this week. It's really quite pathetic. Let's see. It was very hot outside yesterday, so... Oh, I already messed up. Darn it. Okay, that's what correction tape is for. And even though it's not like the most beautiful thing, first I'm going to fix it because this was supposed to be an E. See what I mean? This is why I shouldn't try to talk while I'm doing it. Because that's how I mess up. Okay, so as you can see, I am not... I make mistakes all the time. So when I've made like hand lettering mistakes, there are 2 ways that I fix it. I either use correction tape or I'll use a, let's see, a white gel pen and kind of color over it. It still comes, the color, depending on like how dark the marker color is. Did I really just smudge that too? I did. Jeez. Oh, we're just gonna call this like the hot mess journaling, you know, episode. Like I was saying, depending on how dark the marker color is, it can show through this, but you know, it works. I'm not here to make things perfect. My journal is not perfect, and it is what it is. I'm human. So, this was yesterday. I did not journal, so I will do that later, but I am going to skip to the next spread so that we can like pre-decorate. I have been in the last few weeks like decorating ahead. I don't typically like decorate ahead any further than like 1 spread, but I've been doing it more just because like during the week I've been so exhausted from work. I haven't felt like decorating, and I did have a few pages where like I actually just wrote first and then I put in decorations like to fill in the space, and those didn't turn out as nice as I liked, but you know, you do what you have to do. So I'm getting out my glue and stuff. So let's see, what have I been up to? It's been a really hard month, I'm not gonna lie. Let's start from, let me see what this is. Oh, this would be fun to use. Anyway, sorry, I'm all over the place. It's been a hard, I'd say a hard month. So I have been sick on and off for the better part of a month. And I'm sure, like, if you follow me on Instagram, you know the story because I've been, like, posting there. And shameless plug, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. I have my link in the description. And you can stay more closely up to date to what I'm doing. I do post there. I used to post there daily. I don't post there daily anymore. I'd say I post maybe 3 times a week, maybe 4. Just, I just post when I feel like it. But I do post there more often than I do YouTube, and I definitely post in the stories more often. I'm pretty, like, candid in my stories. So you can see, like, what real life looks like. I feel like I keep doing, like, the same, like, layout over and over and over again. I need to, like, switch it up a little bit. So anyways, I had been sick. We had the kids. It started with the kids. The kids came home one day and they had runny noses and sore throats. It wasn't like that bad to begin with. Did I really do that the wrong way? Where is my brain today? It wasn't that bad. It was just like a lot of runny noses, which, I was okay with. So initially I wanted to get tested for COVID and could not find a test. We live in Los Angeles County, and it's without, like, having to sit at a testing center, which I don't have time for. I couldn't find any available appointments, like, anywhere near me. I would have had to drive quite a ways to get an appointment. I didn't feel well. Of course, I caught whatever the kids had, which now I am like 99.9% certain it was COVID, probably the Omicron variant. So my husband and I are both vaccinated and boosted. Right before getting sick, my husband had just got his booster shot. So he went from being sick from the booster shot to being sick with more than likely COVID. And well, it was mild. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it was mild. But I attribute that to being vaccinated. And I'm very thankful that it was mild. It was a runny nose, lots of congestion. I will say the sore throat was probably one of the worst sore throats I've ever had. I thought it was strep. I seriously thought I had strep throat because I was like, this is incredibly painful. Like, it hurt to swallow, it hurt to breathe. Not like in my chest, but in my throat, if that makes sense. It was just not a good time. I had a really miserable time. What is this? Why is there a gravestone there? And it looks like there are cookies. Do you see this? It looks like there are cookies. You know what? Maybe this isn't the best. She's crying. I'm not even, like, looking at what these illustrations are. What are these illustrations? Not something... Okay, marriage, something, death. Okay, well, let's use these. I feel like after talking about being sick and COVID, I don't want to, like, put a bunch of images of death in my journal. Oh, Lord. This is why I need to be paying attention to what I'm doing. So anyway, we got sick, and it sucked. And then we got better, and right after that, we had some sort of stomach virus. And I'll tell you what, like, before kids, I rarely got sick. But now that our kids are, like, so our nanny takes them out to, like, this indoor play place so that they can have time to play with other children, which is important for their development. And, they spent a better part of a year not being around any kids when the virus first started, when the pandemic first started. But this year, or 2021, we made a decision that they do need that social interaction, and it's worth the risk. Of course, they wear masks, and they don't go out if they're sick and all that stuff. We do the best we can, but I can't like keep them cooped up in the house all the time. And it's hard. It's a hard decision that everyone has to make for their own families. Um, my kids are still too young to be vaccinated. Hopefully there'll be a vaccination soon for them because I'll be able to breathe a little bit easier once there is. God, I just like drenched that in glue. I did not mean to do that. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, it was tough. So we got better, and then we got sick with the stomach bug, and holy cow, it was awful. My son got sick with it first. For him, it was probably, out of all of us, was probably the mildest for him. Sorry, I'm looking for a new glue stick. I just finished off that glue stick. Okay. It was the mildest for him. He threw up once, and then he felt better. He was fine. My daughter got it next. It was really, really bad for her. She was very, very sick. Had a high fever, stomach pain, throwing up. I swear to God, I cleaned up so much vomit, and I hate. Like, I can deal with a lot of nasty stuff, but throw up is one of the things that really just like gets me. Sorry. I hope this is like not totally disgusting you. I promise I will stop talking about this very soon. So, she was doing so poorly. Like, by the end of the day, that first day, she was dehydrated, but every time she drank anything, it would all just come back up. And like, she was dehydrated. She was like very pale. I called the nurse hotline on our insurance card, and they suggested we take her to the ER because of dehydration. So we did. And they gave her some Zofran. That helped. She was able to keep liquids down after that. I am so thankful. I was so scared. Anytime you have to take your child to like an urgent care or an ER, it's scary because you don't want your kids to have to go through bad things. Like, it sucks, man. It just sucks seeing your kids sick. But she got better. Then my husband got sick, and oh Lord, he was sick. He was very, very sick. And then finally I got sick, and that sucked. And that was actually the week that I got sick and my husband got sick. That was the week that our nanny was out, and she's been out for the past 2 weeks because she got COVID too. And I'm assuming she got it from taking the kids out, which, like I said, we all knew and agreed with the risks. And so my husband and I have been working and watching the kids. We both work full-time remote from home. And I'm not gonna lie, it was an awful week. It was an awful 2 weeks because the kids wanted to go out. They wanted to go see their friends, and I couldn't take them. I had to work. My husband had to work. And trying to explain to a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old that you can't go out because mommy and daddy need to work so we can pay bills, that logic is above their heads. It goes over their heads. So they were pretty unhappy that they had to stay home. So, and then work meetings with children in the background and worrying about not looking professional, especially as a woman. It was an awful week. It was a really, really awful week, especially this last one, because the kids had just by then just had it. So I'm glad it's over. My nanny, I believe she's better, and she will be back on Monday. Thank God. My productivity was so low that it was bad. It was just so bad. I was so stressed out. I was working. My husband and I were both working at night after the kids went to bed just to catch up. And unfortunately, like, I know like some people can take off sick. I work as a freelancer, so if I don't work, I don't get paid. Um, the company I have kind of like tied myself to for the time being has said that they do want to bring me on full time, but that takes time and all that. And you know what? It just makes me angrier and angrier that, you know, you work so hard. Like, I get it. Like, if I was like completely, so I gave up some of my like freedom as a freelancer because want, I kind of want to go back to having a full-time position like that has like um, benefits. And so I agreed to basically like take on full-time hours as a freelancer, um, with the hopes of getting hired. But you know what? It's kind of a sucky situation because at least before, when I was like fully my own individual self-employed freelancer, then I chose my hours. I had so much like more freedom, and now it's like I'm supposed to be working the whole kind of 9 to 5, and but I don't get any of the perks that come with the like hassle of being tied to a job 9 to 5. I know it's probably like first world problems here, but I feel like there's a lot of that right now. Like people are getting more and more fed up with just like work in general, and finally coming to the realization that we have a lot more power than we think we do. I don't know. Am I like totally like off base here? I feel like a lot of people have been having that like realization. So, anyways, that sucked because normally if I would have been like, if I would have had like sick time or something, I would have taken it off to be with my children and not have to try to work. And you know, everyone's miserable when that happens because I'm stressed out because I'm not being as productive as I need to be. My husband's stressed out because he's not being as productive as they need to be, and the kids suffer because they have to be, you know, stuck at home when they want to be playing with their friends. So, and the, you know, yeah, it's been a tough week. Sorry, I am like such a Debbie Downer. Hopefully, in the previous videos that I've uploaded to this, I will not have been such a Debbie Downer. But you know what? This is real life, and I don't want to like fake being happy. Like life has its ups and downs. Like sometimes things are great and sometimes they're not, and that's okay. And I think the more that we talk about and normalize that sometimes things just suck and we'll get through it, the better off we'll be. So that's my TED Talk. So let's see, there's that. My son, he turned 3 years old on February 5th. I cannot believe he's 3. He's my baby. But now he's a big boy. And he's got so much attitude. I swear, like a switch flipped in his head right around 3, where he has this like attitude, like the very like what I would say is like stereotypical toddler attitude. He'll be like, I want this, and then you give it to him, he's like, no, I don't want this. And I'm like, what do you want from me? I'm giving you what you want, and you don't want it. And it's like, you feel like you can't win. But then sometimes he's like incredibly sweet and loving, and I swear to God. I've heard teenagers are very similar. I can't wait. So yeah, we're going through that phase. And my daughter turns 5 in March. And I can't believe that either. She's going to be starting school this year. And I hope to God that there's some sense of normalcy when school starts for her. Because how awful is it for the kids who had to start school during this pandemic? And like everything is just like crazy. That's pretty cute, right? I think so. I wasn't even like super paying attention to what I was doing. So yeah, hopefully everything will be a little more stabilized by the time she goes back or starts. Goes back. She hasn't even started. I've been really into using these La Dolce Vita tape. Sorry, I have glue all over my hands now. So I got this. I don't know if this is new. I think it's new. It looks awfully close to some tape that I already had. This is another La Dolce Vita like washi tape with the paper backing. I really like the designs. I've always liked La Dolce Vita. I also like the Peon Girls. Peon? I don't know how to say that. But what I'm talking about is these. I also really love these illustrations too. Like these little fashion girls are really fun, I think. So I've been using a lot of that. I've really been trying hard to use what I have, like I've been saying for like many months now. I haven't really purchased any, I haven't purchased that much stationery since the year started. I've definitely stopped buying lots of things at once. There are a few like wooden stamps that I'm on the hunt for, but they're out of stock, so I'm just kind of waiting. But again, I'm trying to really focus on using what I have in my stash and enjoy what I have, because I feel like there are a lot of things that I've purchased that I've not used at all or forgot I had, and honestly, like, I need to be saving more money, because the whole reason I decided to work full-time for this company is so I can save money for school and for a few other like larger purchases. So I really need to be, you know, doing that. If I'm like busting my butt the way I am, I need to be saving. But you know, that's kind of what it is. I did, however, make a large purchase. It was not stationery related, and it was much needed. I purchased a new set of wireless headphones. I had a pair of wired headphones that I've had for probably like 7 years. And you know how like they have the like vinyl coating on the foam that goes around your ear? Well, that started coming off, and I was finding like flakes everywhere, like all over my face, and I'm like, okay, this isn't good. I think I'm done with these headphones. It'd been 7 years, and you know, they weren't like super high end. They're Beats brand, so they weren't like super cheap, but they weren't like expensive, if you know what I mean. I decided to go with a little more higher end brand. I went with Bose. This is my first Bose headphones, and I really like them. They're the what is it called? Noise canceling headphones, and they're really nice, and they do cancel noise, and honestly that's pretty helpful, because sometimes I'm trying to relax and the upstairs neighbors are being jerks and being incredibly loud, and I don't want to hear it, and this is honestly a really good solution to that. So I've been using those and been very happy with them. If you're like in the market for headphones, the Bose, I think they're the Quiet Comfort 45. Those are the ones I have. They're great. They're not cheap. Not in my opinion. I mean, they may be cheap for some people, but in my opinion, they're not cheap. But I feel like they're a worthy investment if you're in the market for a new pair of headphones. Not sponsored, of course. It's like, no. So yeah, that has kind of been what I've been doing. I have been mostly keeping up with my journals. My journaling stack has kind of like changed a little bit. Like, I couldn't keep up with everything I wanted to keep up with, and so mostly like, so I haven't been using my traveler's notebook that much. I've honestly just been journaling in here, but I have been using my traveler's notebook more than I've been using my A6 Hobonichi. At first I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do an illustrated journal. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna like have all these beautiful illustrations. And I couldn't, by the, almost towards the end of January, I just could not keep up. I was too busy. I was doing some online classes and I could not keep up with it. So, and then being sick, I had to kind of like let that go. And so now I've been using it like when I need a place for notes. Sometimes I write in it, but I honestly don't know what I'm going to use it for. I guess it's just like when I feel like writing, when I have something to say. I don't know. So yeah, that's been fun. Oh, that's too bright. I was like trying to like make it a little brighter. Hopefully it's not too dark. I might have to like adjust the brightness in post, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that I haven't been able to keep up with it. Like in a perfect world, I would, but it's just we don't live in a perfect world. So what else? Some of my planners have like changed too, like some of them just didn't work for what I needed them for, and now I'm kind of like at this point where I'm trying to decide if I'm going to purchase a spring start Hobonichi. So I use a spring start Hobonichi that I purchased last year for my freelance work because I work in an agency. You have to keep really tight um, track of the time that you spend on things because you're billing it to specific like buckets for job numbers. And so the way like having the week on the side and then the blank page on the other side really works for what I need when it comes to that. But I don't want to spend a bunch of shipping to buy from the Hobonichi store directly, and I haven't really seen a lot of I don't think I've seen any of the US stores have their spring start ones yet. And that's coming up, I think March, maybe the end of March. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I do have some other like I have a Take a Note. I have the Kokio Pal planner too that I'm not using. I didn't like the paper on that one. And I don't think the Take a Note is the right layout for what I need, and the Pal planner may be a better fit as far as layout, but I really dislike the paper. So I don't know. If I was like, I just need to be committed that, I need to use what I have and maybe just try to make one of those work. But I love the Hobonichi weeks. Like, it's the perfect setup for what I need. And so it's really hard for me not to want to buy one and be like happy, know that I will be happy with my decision. So I don't know. Have you guys had any like planner changes? I feel like this is very early in the year for a planner change, but here we are. I definitely did not stick with the lineup that I thought I was going to stick with. So again, it is what it is. I'm not going to like get down on myself about it. We all, you know, planner piece is hard to come by from what I've seen and heard. Okay, I think I'm going to add some washi tape and then we're going to be done. If I didn't like explain really what I was doing, typically when I'm creating my spreads, I like to do like little clusters, usually 4 or 5. I want to like lead the eye kind of like through the layout. That's like my goal with the clusters. I know it's probably more design speak than needed, but that's how my brain works. This washi tape is actually from Mom Kushin. I really love it. I think it's beautiful. I love their washi tapes. I love their designs. Ah! That was not what I was intending, but okay. There we go. I always like to add a little bit of washi tape to like kind of just tie everything together. So if like something's laying weird, it kind of helps with that. I've also been super behind on pen pal stuff, being sick and working so much and watching the kids while I'm trying to work and then working late at night. I just have not had time to respond. So if you're one of my pen pals, I apologize. I started responding this weekend. I think I got 3 letters done. I don't think I will be able to get any more done this weekend, but hopefully like I can get a few more done next week. I do have quite the backlog sitting there waiting, and I hate like taking so long to respond, but I couldn't make it work this week, so that's kind of what happened. There we go. Okay, I think this page is done. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to the past month, couple of weeks. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of chatty and I didn't really talk about what I was doing, but here's the final page. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you check out some other videos on my channel, and if you've not subscribed, please subscribe or consider subscribing, because I'm so close to 1,000 subs that I really want to hit that milestone so that I can monetize my channel. So give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!